Welcome to the HEARTS Entwined podcast. In this podcast, we'll be having discussions around the secrets which attract lasting, healthy, fulfilling relationships, creating a healthy mindset, and what women should know and understand about men. Introducing your host, Lyn Smith, the Queen of Hearts, relationship expert, trainer, speaker, and best-selling author of the Cupid's Bow technique. Lyn's mission is to have a positive impact in reducing divorce, domestic violence, and suicide.
Welcome to the HEARTS Entwined podcast. This is your host, Lyn Smith, the Queen of Hearts. And today, listeners, I'm going to be talking about how to be magnetic in love. So let me get started straight in. What causes us to feel and be and sit in that energy of magnetism? And you know what? It isn't all about our physical traits and characteristics. A lot of clients think that, it's to do with your physical looks, your size, and all of those sort of external physical traits that create magnetism. And it's not at all. You know, I'm sure some of you have probably looked at some people and thought, well, they're not really that attractive. They're not really, in terms of physical appearance, in terms of how we judge people, they just look plain, but they've got a fantastic, what you consider, partner in their life, and you think to yourself, well, how did he attract her, or how did she attract him? When you might be looking at them and judging them to be not that physically all that, so to speak. Well, it's down to what frequency and vibration are we operating at. When you think about it, it is down to more our energy that we're exuding that creates magnetism. So if you think about, for example, if you saw or knew two identical twins, and one of the twins was very much in the mindset of living a life around fear, doubt, worry, lack, and the other twin was very much exuding that energy of abundance, love, faith, and trust, then which twin do you think you'd be more attracted to being around? And that has nothing at all to do with their looks. It's just about, what is it that they're exuding that's attracting you to want to spend more time with them? And naturally, we gravitate towards wanting to spend more time, usually with people who have that positive energy, that more optimistic outlook on life, that are exuding, as I say, their energy from a place of love and abundance and trust and faith, rather than the opposite of that, which is the negative energy of fear, doubt, worry, lack. And if you compare, where you're sitting in that scenario, what is it that you're exuding? Honestly, can you, hold up a mirror to yourself and think, am I exuding positive energy, or am I exuding negative energy? And perhaps that is the reason why I'm not attracting or magnetizing people into my life, whether that's friends, family, co-workers, or romantic love. It's all to do with the energy that we're exuding. And certainly for me, I know that you will have all experienced times where you've entered a room and sometimes you just feel that the ambiance of the room is either negative or positive, don't you? You can feel energetically that either there's good vibrations in the room and everything feels good and everybody's having a good time, and there's a very positive aura or essence or vibration happening. Or you can walk into a room and think, oh my gosh, you can really feel there's a very negative vibration going on, and it feels very, I suppose, what I've referred to as you're surrounded by energy vampires that drain the life out of you. So you know that this energetic factor is true. We do all exude a certain energy and a certain vibration. So how do we raise our vibration? How do we change our frequency so that we can always, be exuding our own positive energetic match so that we can attract somebody that's going to be a healthy partner for us? Well, the first thing is to look at how you view yourself. And quite often we're our own worst critics and judges, and unfortunately we do tend to compare ourselves to other people, especially as we've been conditioned over many, many decades to be perceived in a certain way by media, magazines, newspapers, social media, TV. They all influence how we think we ought to look. And I'm sure you've seen really stunning, celebrities that have also equally probably attracted equally stunning partners, but they're not happy in their relationships. You see, the gossip columns and the news media often talking about, they're having very unhealthy relationships. They've had very bad luck where in terms of previous partners that they've probably had, and they just can't seem to attract somebody that's going to offer that stability, that love, and that romance that they want in a relationship. And they quite often find themselves in volatile relationships or relationships where there's cheating going on. Now, why does that happen? And it's not down to usually pointing the finger and saying they chose a bad partner. And, unfortunately, although the partner's an attractive person, they've just got those horrible traits that they've come with in terms of baggage. No, it's down to ourselves. We've attracted that partner because life is about learning lessons around loving ourselves. And if we're not actually loving ourselves and doing our own healing work on our journey through life, then we're going to just keep attracting people that teach us life lessons to show up what needs healing. So if we're attracting somebody that's creating a distrust, then there's trust issues that we need to resolve within ourselves, first and foremost. If we're creating somebody that makes us feel unworthy, undeserving, unloved, not enough, then that's because we're actually at some level thinking that about ourselves. And how sad is that we don't treat ourselves as good as we'd treat, hopefully other people, including your partner. So, it's a very common saying, but it's so true to treat others the way you would want to be treated yourself, but also treat yourself how you'd want others to treat you as well, is equally important to understand when it comes to being a great vibrational match and exuding the energy that's going to attract and magnetize people towards you. And I'm not just talking about romantic partners here. I'm actually talking about people in general that you want to attract to be around you in life. And I think quite often we can become blaming of our circumstances because we might be in an environment where there is family members or friends that aren't necessarily good for us because they're bringing us down, and instead of us raising them up to our higher energy levels, we're allowing them to bring us down to their probably lower vibrational energy levels. And all I can say in those instances, you've got to learn to say no and let go and keep people at arm's length. If you are surrounded by people that are negative and are negatively impacting your energy, you've got to be strong enough to say no more. I'm not going to allow myself to be surrounded by those people anymore because I'm deserving of more than that. And be protective of your own energy. And if necessary, become a bit more reclusive and selective about where you spend your time and who you spend your time with, so that you do protect your energy and can work on yourself if this is resonating with you and you do feel like you need to be healed from stuff in order to raise your vibration, in order to attract a better quality partner going forwards, because we always attract the people that we need in our lives to learn the lessons that we need in order to heal our own shit and our own baggage, so that we don't then take that into our next relationship. So try not to be hard on yourself or other people if you've been in relationships before that haven't been healthy or they haven't been fulfilling. Just know that they were there to teach you some life lessons about maybe setting stronger boundaries for yourself, maybe not wanting to accept unacceptable behavior, because quite often if we do end up in unhealthy relationships, it's because we've got low self-esteem at some level within ourselves. You might be doing well at work, in your own work environment. You might be doing well in terms of your own physical, mental, or emotional health. But on some level, there is something going on where you're not treating yourself or not recognizing within yourself how much you are worthy of love. So I hope this actually is helpful in terms of recognizing that you are worthy, you are deserving, you are enough, you will attract love. But first and foremost, look in the mirror and love that special, amazing person that's looking back at you. And notice, if you can get in the habit of doing that every single day, how you attract better quality relationships, not just romantically, but holistically as you go on your life's journey. So I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed this episode, then do please subscribe. I would love that. It all helps towards getting this information out to other people that might need to hear it. It's free to subscribe. So do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. True love starts with opening our hearts. So until next time, goodbye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Hearts Entwined podcast. You can follow Lyn via the Facebook group 2 Hearts Entwined, or search Lyn Smith, inspirational speaker, at LinkedIn, or email lyn@hearts-entwined.com. That's LYN@hearts-entwined.com. Remember, true love starts with opening our hearts.